Well, it seems like I have a little explaining to do. It's been a couple weeks since we've had one of our photography talk episodes. This is technically episode 189, and if you've been following this channel long enough to know, you know we have never ever missed our weekly episode. I've shot this with COVID. I've been messed up, but boy, this last month, friends, it's been a roller coaster of the last 3 to 4 weeks. See, before we get into today's news, I just wanted to give you a kind of an underlining heads up because I feel I owe you an explanation because hey, we didn't release a video last week or technically the week before. So you see what's taken place here is for my other company, I was filming in Arizona. I spent the better part of the last month on the road, filming in Arizona, Texas, Alabama. And then what happened was a couple weeks ago on the flight back from Alabama, had the worst flight. I've been flying commercially for about 34 years. And I'm going to say this one, hands down, was the worst flight experience that I've had in 34 years. 12 delays, 12. And I was only supposed to have 2 flights. So one from Birmingham, Alabama to Atlanta, from Atlanta to LAX. And long story short, 12 delays, as I mentioned, in 2 aircraft that were mechanically unfit to fly. And one we were sitting on the tarmac for about 3 hours or so. But long story short, I finally made it back home, missed the shooting schedule that I had that morning because I didn't get in until 9 a.m. And then I started noticing that my body was aching. And I thought it was because of my camera bag and just lack of sleep. And that following day, Sunday, I started getting cold chills and just really feeling like, I was feeling pretty bad. And so I took a temperature and I had over 100-degree temperature. And then early in the week, as the week moved on, I peaked out at a little bit above 102, but it stuck with me for a few days. This one was, I took a COVID test, no vid, but I felt like ass. And here's the added bonus to this. You see, with my shooting schedule for this past month, I was moving homes. And so I literally gave myself, not by choice, but it just happened to how things turned out with my shooting schedule. I had 2 weeks to move out of my old house into my new home here. Hence the reason you're noticing a little difference in my studio. And you might notice there's no sound deadening in here. So apologize ahead of time if the audio is off. It's one of the reasons why I'm using the Rode Podcaster is to get a little bit closer to the mic and so forth. But then last week, about midway, my fever broke, but I had this just horrible cough that just would not. I was having these coughing attacks and so forth. And actually, I'm still not out of the woods, hence the reason I have a glass of water here. But as I'm trying to move and it's like 90, 95-degree weather here, I'm also trying to get better enough where I can get in front of you guys and create a video last week. So as I'm rushing, because I had to be out of my old place by Saturday, and Thursday, I had some deadlines. I was like, I have to create this video. So I'm rushing around. And can somebody tell me, this is an R5. Is the screen supposed to be hanging off like this? Let's face it. We know it's not. As I'm trying to rush, famous last words, and I swear I've had a lesson with you guys before about the do's and don'ts of photography and not rushing. I think this is a little bit different, maybe not, but anyways, long story short, I'm trying to get my studio set up here so I can shoot this video quick and get back to moving. And I moved my desk forward here and it bumped into the R5 and it was like slow motion and it cracked. And so now I have to bring it up to Canon and hopefully they're going to be able to fix this pretty fast for me. But that hurt. That was a crunch that absolutely hurt. But getting back over on topic here, last week, over the course of the last couple of weeks, there's been some pretty exciting things taking place here. One of which, of course, the DJI released their Air 3, and this is pretty exciting stuff here, because as many of you know, I've been a DJI fan for wow, a long time, and so I've had a number of their drones in my my camera bag, and so the Air 3, it's again what I shoot right now is the Air 2S, and I ditched the Pro models because I like the small compact of the Air 2S. So we're going to be talking about that here momentarily. Also, Hobolite. Now, if you guys have followed the channel, I did a review on their Mini. We've spoken about their Avant. These are lights that, let's be real here, I've been an aperture light fan for a very long time. I'm a tough critic. I'm brand loyal to Aperture because I like the product and so forth. They're not a client. It's just a product I absolutely like. Hobolite, holy smokes, relatively new brand. These guys are punching way the heck out of their weight class. And so anyway, I've tested their Avant, I've tested their Mini, and they just came out with this thing, the Micro, that I've been playing around with a month. We're going to be talking about that here today. But anyway, we're going to chat about the Air 3 as well, some of the features a little bit later on in the episode. First, we're going to dive into a couple of the other news items first, which is one of these. Okay, starting things off, when I switched from Nikon to Canon a few years back, it wasn't because the original EOS R was a groundbreaking camera. It really wasn't. Instead, I switched mainly because Canon had a better glass for its growing mirrorless camera ecosystem. Now, I'd argue that Canon still has better lens selection than Nikon, at least at the time of this recording.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
By far, one of the best Canon RF lenses to date is the 2870 f2L USM. It's the second lens that I bought behind the 1535 when I moved over to Canon. Incidentally, all the videos that you have seen shot in the studio have been shot on the 2870. Absolutely love this lens. It was also the first full frame autofocus zoom lens with an aperture that big. And now it might get a sibling. Now, rumors indicate that Canon has another f2 zoom lens in the works, though the focal length of this thing or the range of this thing is a bit of a mystery. Some folks seem to believe that this could be the 70 to 135 f2, though there's really nothing but speculation at this point fueling this. Now, whatever that lens ends up being, I suspect this is going to be an immediate hit. The 2870 f2 is an absolute epic lens that has replaced or can replace your 35mm and your 50mm prime lenses with ease. Now, if Canon adds a 70 to 135 variant, you could conceivably leave your house with just simply 2 lenses in your camera bag and be able to cover 99% of what you need to shoot on a daily basis. That's pretty darned cool. Now, it's assumed that this lens won't be released until early portion of next year, so stay tuned for updates as more details are confirmed. Now, as you might recall, back in May, I highlighted the Hobolite Mini as a fantastic small portable light for my photography and videography work. Now, at that point, if you recall, I basically discussed how easy it was to use, the quality of light output, and the quality of construction, among many things about this thing. Well, last week, Hobolite expanded the product line with the Micro. Okay, so as you'd expect, and the Micro is even, I mean, look at this thing. It's even smaller than the Mini, yet this thing punches way the heck out of its weight class with a wide range of features that make it one of the best portable lights on the market. Now, as you can see, this thing is, I mean, look at it. It is small enough to fit in your hand, yet despite its size, it offers features like a color range from 2700 to 6500K, 360 to 500 lumens, and a CRI and TLCI of 96 plus. In other words, you get a highly customizable light with beautiful, clean, crisp outfit. As I'll discuss more thoroughly in an upcoming video, the Hobolite Micro comes with a variety of accessories that you can attach to the body through magnets. I mean, that happens to be one of the big selling points for me. I absolutely love how you can attach to this thing. You can easily attach and detach accessories one-handed, which gives you an advantage when it comes to maintaining a good workflow, even when you're working alone. Now, this unit is self-contained as well. Now, it does come with a removable, I'll show you this, 3.7 volt lithium battery. Now this little guy right here is going to give you 50 minutes of runtime at full power. Alternatively, if you kind of throttle this down to 25%, you can extend the runtime on this to over 3 hours. Now, as evident as what you can see on your screen here, this little light has absolutely, I mean, look at the looks of this thing. You can immediately tell that Hobolite put a lot of thought and effort into the design of this light. And as I can tell you from about a month's worth of using this and testing and beating the hell out of this light, it's not just a pretty face. This light right here produces beautiful light. Its tiny size is absolutely perfect for somebody that, like me, that is constantly on the go. Now, as I said, I'll take a deeper dive into the Hobolite Micro during the next week, so stay tuned for that. So until then, I would highly encourage you, and this is coming from somebody that has been a diehard another brand fan, that is really, this light or this brand has seriously rocked the boat with that. And so I will put a link down below, not only to this guy, but I will put it to the Mini and also the Avant as well. These are the 3 lights that I'm playing around quite a bit with. Now, a few episodes ago, we discussed a rumor that DJI had a new drone in the works. Well, it is now here. The DJI Air 3 dropped last week and offered loads of features, including dual cameras, a wide angle, and a 3x telephoto. Now, that captures 48 megapixel photos and up to 4K 100p video. Now, the wide angle camera is 24 millimeter equivalent and has, or with a 1.7 aperture, and the telephoto lens is a 70 millimeter equivalent with a f2.8 aperture. Also new in this drone is the ability to capture 10-bit D-Log, M, and 10-bit HLG color modes. Now, according to DJI, the D-Log M mode captures more highlights in shadows than previous Air drones. Now, something else to note about this drone, this thing can fly 46 minutes. It's incredible. Improvement over the Air 2S, which again is what I primarily use for my drone right now. That's a 48% less flight time than the Air 3. Now, for the first time, the Air 3 series also gets omnidirectional obstacle sensing, which allows the Air 3 to sense obstacles in all directions. And when the drone encounters an obstacle, it uses the APAS 5.0 to actively avoid them. Needless to say, the Air 3 is packed with high-end features that should make this a big hit for DJI. And with the base price less than $1,100, it's a budget-friendly drone as well. Now, again, like with the other items, I will put a link down below in the description if you want to be one of the first to pick up one of the Air 3s. Well, friends, it's that time for me to wrap up this party. So for now, I will be saying goodbye, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video.